Erev Tov, good evening to everyone. And we're at our Dvar Malchus shir, our Dvar Malchus class, our weekly Dvar Malchus, and we hear our son, Menachem Mendel, playing music in the background in honor of the Chag HaGeula, the birthday and also the passing, and the Chag HaGeula, the day of the liberation of the second Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Dvar of Lubavitch. And Baruch Hashem, it's very freilach, it's very happy, it's very joyous. But with all the celebration, we have to get some learning under our belt as well. So we're in the Dvar Malchus of Parshas Tzav, according to the order that we're studying from the beginning. The portion of Tzav on the hard copy is page 23. The PDF file copy page is page 7, and we're Ois Zion, letter Zion. The Rebbe says, according to this we'll understand the doubling over at the end of the chapter, and the actions of our hands will be established upon us, and the actions of our hands will be established. Since by Moshe Rabbeinu, the connecting intermediate, these two concepts, Moshe v'Isha Elokim, these two concepts existed by Moshe Rabbeinu, that he was Moshe, a man of flesh and blood, and also a godly man. Therefore, here below we find the concept of eternity existed by Moshe Rabbeinu, v'akvius, and the permanency, koyach habligvul, the power of the unbounded, begolui, on a revealed basis, kimrumuz behemshach hamizmar, as hinted to in the continuation of the chapter, ma'oin ha'isa lanu b'der v'der, you were a dwelling place for us in every single generation. B'terem harim yuladu gamer, even before mountains were born, so to speak, or created. And from one world to the next world, you are the only God. For 1,000 years in your eyes is as a day, and yesterday. And so we also see the eternity of time in regard to Moshe Rabbeinu, who was also, as we said, the Ish HaElokim, a godly man, since he was nullified to Hashemliness. Nitzchias b'Moshe et atzmei, the eternity in regard to Moshe himself. Shemoshe le'meis, like it states in the Talmud, Moshe did not pass away. Uv'chol der v'der yeshna ispashtusa de Moshe, and in every single generation there is the spreading of the soul of Moshe. And this is in addition to the concept of Moshe, which we find in every single Jew. And so also in regard to his powers and the details of Moshe. To the extent Moshe, the actions of the hands of Moshe, Mishkan she'asa Moshe, and this refers to the tabernacle that Moshe Rabbeinu built and erected. Nitzchiyim, they are eternal. And therefore it was within the power of Moshe, Dafka specifically, to draw down the divine presence here in this mundane world. Al Yedei Tfilosei, through his prayer, Vihi Nayam Gamer, that it should be the bliss of Hashem. Yehirotzen Shetisha Shchina b'mas yadeichem. May it be Hashem's will that the divine presence shall dwell in the actions of your hands. This is the blessing that Moshe Rabbeinu blessed the Jewish nation at the time of the erecting of the tabernacle of the Mishkan. And this should be in a manner of, it shall be established upon us, bikvius, in a permanent manner, l'der v'der, from generation to generation, ad shebozeh u'mais yadenu keinenehu, until in regard to this, the actions of our hands will be established. Merumezes hanitzchius is hinted the eternity, the Veis Hamikdash Hashlishi, of the third Beis Hamikdash, she'eino chorev lo'olam, that will never be destroyed, kanizkar la'el, as mentioned above. And so, as we find by Moshe himself, yeshnam shnei ha'inyanim, we find these two concepts. Moshe v'ish ha'elokim, Moshe the human being, and ish ha'elokim the godly man. Kach yeshnam shnei inyanim elu. So also we find these two concepts, kefel, or as we see. As we mentioned before, the doubling over, bebirkas utfilas Moshe, in the blessing and the prayer of Moshe Rabbeinu. Vihi nayam gamer, may it be the bliss of Hashem. Aleph, first of all, hamshochas hashchina b'mishkan, the drawing down of the divine presence into the tabernacle, elokus shalom ma'ila mi'olam, the Hashemliness which is above the creation, above the world. Base, second of all, in a manner that this is engarmed in the inner essence of the mundane world. And we must say that this is hinted to in the doubling over of the expression. Aleph, and the actions of our hands will be established upon us, aleinu, in a manner that is encompassing from above, since it is unbounded totally, and has no end. Base, and the actions of our hands will be established. That he will strengthen the actions of our hands, atzmam, our hands themselves, de'ainu, in other words, that the establishment that we're talking about, it penetrates also in its inner sense. The actions of our hands. And it is not only in a manner of the establishment which is established upon us, like we said a moment ago, which is in an encompassing manner. And this shall sweeten the explanation, that wherever we see a doubling over of an expression, so this expresses the existence of that thing in a manner that it becomes eternal. Kiflayim letushia, double the strength. Shu loirak pishnaim. And this is not only that the thing is double the amount, but even more so when we're talking about the quality and the strength. The kefel kosher gam imagiula. And when we talk about expressions that are doubled over, this also is connected to the redemption. Geula nitzchis. And we're talking about, obviously, not only the geula in general, but the eternal geula that will be that there will be no golus, no exile after which. Yechi Adonenu Moreinu V'Rabbeinu HaMelech HaMoshiach Chai V'Kayam Le'olam Voed. Amen.